Market conditions, majority bullish, 14-0 still here on S&P futures, relatively flat this morning at 0.08, not doing a whole lot. We're at the upper end of this range. We've had this breakout pattern above this supply block. Now it is a demand location. We're expanded in the trend, so we are getting a little bit extended in this overall trend. Could use a pullback right here as well, but it's the overall trend continuing higher, and the expansion of this trend is really the only concerning part of where we're at in this trend currently. S&P 500 closed out yesterday at 14-0 on the daily, 14-0 on the weekly as well. We saw breadth push up towards that 80 range, pull back down to that 75 area, and so holding some resistance right here. Still bullish for stocks. Just essentially you've got the overall momentum. 75% of S&P 500 stocks trading above the 50-day moving average, so trending to the upside. We're just looking to see if we can get up into any of these extreme ranges, or if this is going to be as extreme as we get currently in this trend. We're seeing VIX pull back here, less than 17 this morning, 16.69. Really quiet right here. We get a shortened trading day today and no trading tomorrow. So probably going to be some relatively light activity. SHY, we saw that gap lower yesterday, and still holding that price range. We may push it up just a little bit here, 82.58 on the short end of the yield curve. That is 2-year notes pushing down to 377. Still in that overall downtrend. Majority bearish for rates. Majority bearish on the weekly time frame for rates as well. This longer term perspective on the weekly time frame of rates. You can see we're pulling back, finding some potential support right here, but starting to, it's been trending in this downward trend now for a year or so. TLT also moving to the upside. Majority neutral here at 7-7. Majority bearish on the long-term trend, and we're seeing that also correspond to rates 426 on the 10-year. It's been pulling back right here, but still bullish looking on that weekly time frame, at least flat and holding that range around that 430 area. The market seems to be comfortable with these rate numbers as well as we continue to push higher. Dow Jones Industrial Average continuing to push into this supply location, and getting stronger each day as we're pushing into this area. We'll see if we can get a new high on the Dow. We've got a little bit of work to do to be able to get into that range. Triple Q's already there, similar to the S&P 500, up above that 540 range. That's now new demand location for that. Demand is all the way back down to 517, the 236. So we've got quite a bit of range that we could have, and some volatility in really across the board, and still be in an overall uptrend. IWM, small cap names, that's your Russell 2000, still pushing towards its supply location, this 230 range. It's been the weakest of the group, but gaining some steam right here on those small cap names. USO, the ETF for oil, 75, getting a little bit of support back here again. It had this big run up, retracement, got beat up here a little bit, and now working its way back to the upside. Majority bullish with some volatility here in USO. Gold, GLD, still holding this nice long-term uptrend. 236 is at 300. We're sitting at 308, so inside the playground, the momentum zone, and still working that overall uptrend on gold. Silver also had this breakout pattern. It's also in momentum, and be watching for those. If you're looking for pullback entries, you can watch for pullback, really anything inside of this range, and a pullback to that 32 range, getting a confirmation bar here as well on silver for some potential momentum. All of these, the gold and silver, both pretty extended in their trends, but they are in momentum at this point. A couple trade ideas to consider today. NXT, nice confirmation bar, big volume the last few days as it gapped lower and has been rallying ever since. Could get a confirmation and some continuation on NXT. Also seeing a few other names here. We saw NG, which is in the gold space. Navigold, nice confirmation bar back up here as well. Then also seeing some of the quantum names. RGTI, got a trade set up for that one, ready to go. Also a nice confirmation on that. Not quite into momentum, but pushing into that. This is definitely worthy of consideration as far as entry if you're looking for quantum names at these levels. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day and a great holiday.